everyone, it's Jenny from Let's Talk Mommy, and today I'm going to share with you a little bit about my first trimester, some tips, tricks, and all those things we worry about in the beginning. So subscribe below so you don't miss out our series on our baby journey. Now, for me, the first trimester is always the worrisome trimester. It's always that mix between emotions where you're so excited to tell everyone your news, but you can't tell anyone, and you're so worried about the little pains and twinges and things that can go wrong in the first trimester. I'm so relieved to be out of the first trimester, to be honest. It's always the most exhausting trimester. Your body's changing rapidly, and there's so much to remember or learn about, especially for new moms. So I thought I'd share all about those and some lists of things we should eat and things we need to do and important doctor's appointments, and how my first trimester has gone with my third baby. Now, the first one is always what doctor's appointments do you go to? Which ones should husband go to? You don't want husband to take off all this time of work when he doesn't really need to. Most midwife appointments and doctor's appointments are boring. Let's put it that way, for the husband anyway. Exciting for the mother because she's talking about her baby and talking about how her body's changing and getting ready for baby. But Dad doesn't really need to hear medical history and take off work, but make sure he gets to those ultrasounds where you hear the heartbeat and you get to see the movements on the screen. It just makes it so much real. And of course, the gender reveal, that's the so exciting time for Dad to come to and share with you, because it really involves him as much as it's hard to involve a dad in the beginning when it's inside your belly. Another one, people wonder, what doctor's appointments do you have? So you'll have your 12-week scan, and they can do the combination scan, or you can just do your dating scan, as they call it. So the combination one does different tests for like Down syndrome as well as the dating and measurements. Or your dating scan just gives you a due date. So you get to pick whichever one you want at 12 weeks. Then you'll have a midwife appointment about 16 weeks. Don't forget your flu vaccinations at this time. They're so important. I just had mine. And then you'll have your 20-week scan, and you can find out the gender at your 20-week scan. Another question that first moms-to-be or in your first trimester you might have is the sneak peek gender scans. Now, they're so popular. There's like 20 facilities around my house that do them. They're popping up all over, and you can do them as early as 15 weeks now, which is really exciting. You don't have to wait till 20 weeks to find out if you're having a baby boy or girl. And for me, that's so important because I like to plan and organize. I like to get the names and the bedrooms and everything just set in stone right from the beginning. So we get to actually find ours out next week. I'm so excited. So stay tuned for our gender reveal on that one. But yeah, you just Google any early scan gender reveal and you'll find tons of facilities in your local area. Another question you might have in your first trimester is, when do I feel movement? Now, this is so different for so many people, but generally they say between 16 and 22 weeks you will feel movement. Now, it won't be big kicks and elbows going. You'll have plenty of that later. But if you're a first-time mom and you don't know what it feels like, I think we don't generally know that we feel the movement. We might just think it's gas or bubbles in our stomach. But it's my third baby, and you definitely can feel it way sooner. And I knew right away those little flutters in my belly, like they feel like a little butterfly inside. Definitely our baby, and it makes it so much real and so exciting. I know in the first trimester we're all desperate to feel those first kicks and movement to make it all so real for us. So yeah, 16 to 22 weeks is about the general time frame for people to start feeling those flutters. Now, don't forget your prenatal vitamins. It is so important. I always have a cold in my first 12 weeks of pregnancy. I get this cough that doesn't go away, and I have it now. And I've had it with all three of my children. And it's like this niggly cough, and I get it for 12 weeks. So pack up on those vitamins. Don't forget your flu vaccinations. And another vaccination now they really want you to have is at your 20 weeks is whooping cough. Do get them. It's been worse than this year, it's been worse than the last 20 years, they're saying. So they're very important. We need to keep as healthy as possible for our little baby. Which brings me next to the ungodly list of foods we shouldn't eat. If you Google it, they are way too long and it just gets ridiculous. I just think, be smart, be healthy, and most of those foods I don't actually eat, so it's easy for me. But stay away from your soft cheeses. Sushi's hard for me, but stay away from sushi. Stay away from deli meats, they say. Just certain things you know that can cause bacteria or cause upset stomachs and make you ill faster. Make sure all your meats are well done. Hard for those people that like rare steak, especially when you crave beef like I do. But make sure they're well cooked. It's just a precaution, and it's safer for you and your baby. And there's one that I've been asked a few times, and a lot of people do ask online in your first trimester, can you dye your hair? Now, the old wives' tale says you shouldn't dye your hair within the first trimester. I don't know why, but they just think with baby developing, why take the risk? So I get that. I actually didn't know I was pregnant when I got my hair dyed in my first trimester with my last two. So, and we seem to be healthy and fine so far. But yeah, the general census is wait till your first trimester is over, and then do your hair. But you can pick natural dyes. There's lots of options out there if you feel like it is more dangerous to your baby. But so far, there's no research saying it actually is harmful to your baby to get your hair dyed. So go pamper yourself, ladies. Now, those are just the general tips, advice, and questions you generally get in your first trimester. Now I'm going to tell you all about my first trimester in my third baby. It has been definitely different this time around. My first baby with my first trimester, I literally slept, I think the whole trimester. I was exhausted with my first, which is, I was younger and I didn't have to chase around other children. So when I could sleep, I slept. I used to go to bed at like 6, 7 o'clock at night, and it's good for you. Get lots of sleep, get lots of rest if you feel that you need it. My second baby with my first trimester, I was chasing a 1-year-old, so I didn't have time to be tired, and I wasn't. But this one, I was more tired, I was more sick. I had my head in the toilet a few times this time, which I didn't have in either one of my previous pregnancies. I'm definitely feeling it more. My body's changing faster more. I'm actually bigger sooner this time. I think at 6 weeks, I had a friend say, Jenny, do you have something to tell me? Because you look like you have a bump. And she wasn't being mean, I could have just ate a lot of cake that day, but which I've been known to. But yeah, I popped so soon, about 8, 10 weeks. You can even see on my Instagram, I have the 8, 10, 12 week slideshow. And you can see I was right away, my stomach was round and hard, and it didn't have that in-between stage where, is she pregnant or is she not? People were just like, you're pregnant, just say you're pregnant. And I couldn't because I wasn't past that safety zone. And I obviously wanted to reveal it to everyone in a fun way with the kids. So yeah, definitely my third time. I'm bigger. My chest is bigger, faster. I feel like I'm expanding at a high speed, which makes me quite nervous. But it is my third, and it is my last, which I'm so excited to document and share with you guys because I didn't get to with my first two. I wasn't blogging then. And so it's a very special time. I also find it more emotional and exciting the third time around, the last time around for us, because I have 2 older kids. Whereas when I had my second, my first one was 1. There was no excitement of telling B that I was having a baby sister. There was no general bonding or hugging and kissing in my belly, really. He didn't understand. He was a baby still himself. But now I have a 4- and 6-year-old that are obsessed with my belly. They raise my shirt to everyone in the store, wanting to show it off. They hug and kiss it. When I pick them up from school, they all run out and hug my bump and kiss my bump first before they kiss me, and everyone's like, "Aw!" And yeah, it's just a very special time to watch them bond with my belly and really get into it, and I didn't really expect that. So while this was our surprise third baby, we didn't think we'd ever have a third baby. I've always wanted 3, and I feel like everything's just slotting in perfectly. I would have loved them all to be close in age, but I feel like my 2 older ones can really help with this baby, and it'll be a complete different experience than having 2 babies in diapers. So hopefully my last experience will be even more special than it already is, because having a baby is just the most amazing thing in the world. And now that I'm in the second trimester, as you can see, I can get dressed, I can do my hair, and I feel great. So here's to a happy, healthy baby bump watch. You can find our weekly updates on my blog with photos and fun facts about baby growing, and like fingertips and finger sucking and fingerprints, and all the excitement over on my blog at Let's Talk Mommy. Don't forget to subscribe below so you don't miss my second trimester and all things pregnancy to come. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.